Hello and welcome. This is UMD Media. You're tuning into our Wednesday, May 4, 2022 program. I am Shimelis Gebremichael with UMD News Package. We invite you all to stay with the program. And for your feedbacks, please use our email address newstips2020umd@gmail.com. Here are what are making the headlines over the last few days. Ethiopian police and Muslim worshippers clash in Addis Ababa. 76 suspects were arrested in connection with the incident, Africa News reports. Major General Gebremichael aka Wadi Nacho, died in prison. His funeral service conducted at Trinity Church today. Two forces released a strong message against Ethiopian and Eritrean governments. Who are these forces and what are they saying? Will their new call bring any difference? This is a topic we are going to see in more details in our News in Detail edition later today. Now, we'll move into providing more information on these and other news items. As we always say, please do not forget to like and share our programs and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, view our programs in other platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. With that, we'll directly go to the news in brief. Ethiopian police and Muslim worshippers clash in Addis Ababa. The incident occurred outside the International Stadium in the heart of the capital during prayers to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr holiday at the end of the Muslim holy months. Ethiopian police used tear gas to disperse young Muslims in Addis Ababa during prayers to mark the end of the Ramadan in the capital. A member of the Addis Ababa High Council of Islamic Affairs told the AFP news agency that the cause of the confrontation was unclear. However, tensions have been high in the country after the Days of the People last month in Gondar. Local Muslim groups were quoted by Al Jazeera as saying that the incident happened when Muslims were attacked. A policeman fired tear gas at the crowds, but it was unintentional, the official said, quoting volunteers at the site. Al Jazeera said the policeman was evacuated by other policemen, but people were shocked and some started to chant slogans. The situation became uncontrollable. Reports said stone throwing demonstrators also smashed windows at the National Museum of the Muscle Square before a calm was restored. Meanwhile, African News reported yesterday that 76 suspects have already been arrested in connection with the incident. A member of the Ethiopian High Council of Islamic Affairs reported that people at the scene told him that a policeman accidentally fired a round of tear gas, which triggered a confrontation. AFP journalist, on the other hand, said some demonstrators shouted, "Justice for Gondar" and "Don't burn our mosques, don't kill our people." U.S. calls for urgent restoration of essential services in Tigray. The U.S. has once again called for the restoration of essential services in Tigray on an urgent basis and urged the federal and Tigrayan authorities to seize the opportunities recent encouraging actions taken by both to advance a negotiated ceasefire, including the necessary security arrangements. For months, the federal government disconnected Tigray state from all forms of communication, including telecom, banking, and electricity, as well as commercial flight and road communication. The UN called it a de facto blockade and continued to call for the lifting. The UN said mid-April humanitarian organizations in Tigray are facing growing challenges in reaching people in need due to shortage of essential supplies. There are also continuing suspension of basic essential services, including banking, electricity, and communications in the region. Brutal abuse of innocent Tigrayans continued as a new norm in Ethiopia. couple of months back, a footage showing civilians burned alive shocked the world. Before justice was served to that horrific incident, uniformed Ethiopian fighters were filmed stoning a boy. Ethiopia's state-appointed Right Commission said it was investigating a video showing a group of fighters in Ethiopian army fatigue abusing and shooting a boy they accused of being Tigrayan, a new norm depicting the country's crime approach. The video, widely shared on social media since Friday, showed a group of men in Ethiopian army combat fatigue stoning, taunting, and kicking a boy with a bloodied face before shooting him in the stomach. Badges on the chests of several fighters read Ethiopian Army. The head of the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, Daniel Bekele, told Reuters that they are gathering information on the distressing incident. In March, soldiers and regional security forces had shot dead 10 civilians, and about 11 Tigrayan men were thrown into the fire alive. Major General Gebremichael Fakadu, aka Weddi Necho, died in prison. Major General Gebremichael has died in prison in Addis Ababa in a mysterious manner. The Tigrayan general, who had served Ethiopian Defense Communication in ANDF, died abruptly after doing his normal prison activities. General Gebremichael served Ethiopia as a soldier and a commander for a long time, including in peacekeeping mission in Liberia and Somalia. According to Teghat information, he was commander over the Ethiopian peacekeeping forces in Somalia before his role as head of Ethiopian Defense Communications. General Gebremichael was detained on the 11th of November 2020 on the accusation that he cut communication to the Northern Command and enabling Tigrayan forces to attack it. Tigrayans have been attacked, arrested, and disappeared in Ethiopia based on their identity. Teghat informed the public. Their businesses have been closed and their properties confiscated. More than 17,000 Tigrayan members of the Ethiopian Defense Forces have been arrested in connection in concentration camps across the country. His burial ceremony was conducted today at the Trinity Cathedral in Addis Ababa in the presence of members of his family, friends, and His Holiness Abuna Matthias, Patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. UMD Media would like to express its deepest condolences. We'll now move into one story we have chosen to present to you in more details. That is, two forces released a strong message against Ethiopian and Eritrean governments. This is UMD Media. Two forces, the Oromo Federalist Congress (OFC) and the Tigray Regional Government, issued a statement denouncing the Ethiopian and Eritrean governments pertaining to peace, security, and disruption of the process of national reconciliation. The opposition party, Oromo Federalist Congress (OFC), said in a statement Sunday, May the 1st, 2022, that scores of civilians are killed by the ongoing government military campaign in Oromia regional state. Government security forces are conducting a campaign to destroy what they call the Oromo Liberation Army, which they call it OLF Shani. OFC said in reference to the recent announcement by the federal and Oromia regional state government to conduct a final military operation to eradicate the armed rebel group in Oromia. The party accused that more recently, drone and helicopter strikes have been carried out by government forces in connection with this campaign and said mounting evidence from the victims suggests that it is leading to the loss of many civilians' lives, the destruction of homes and property, and the displacement of survivors. This illustrates the level of violence carried out against civilians in the Oromia region in the name of rooting out the Shani group, said the statement. In addition to the government forces, OFC also accused what he called the Fano group in Oromia of killing civilians. OFC said this group is becoming a threat to peace in the region and neighboring states too, OFC added. However, as the regional government is reluctant to act, we call on the federal government to provide immediate and legal solutions, the party said. Among its 7 point resolution is a repeat of the party's earlier call for the federal government to end the ongoing conflict with armed groups and to resolve the issue peacefully, and for the government to immediately call ceasefire and enter into negotiations. According to Addis Standard Media, the party also called for an international neutral inquiry into the massacre of civilians in various parts of Oromia. You are tuning to UMD Media live from Canada. Meanwhile, the Tigray government called for Eritrea's forces' withdrawal from all regions and involvement in Ethiopia's internal affairs. In its open statement sent to Macky Sall, the chairman of the African Union and president of Senegal, and Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta. The office of the president has called for immediate and conditional end of the siege of Tigray. The complete, comprehensive, and verified withdrawal of all Eritrean military, security, and intelligence from Ethiopia is a precondition that the Tigray government is inquiring about. According to the Tigray regional government, the withdrawal of invading forces from all parts of Ethiopia is the priority area for a good faith negotiation in Ethiopia, while expressing its commitment to doing its share in realizing fundamental international norms and principles. It also indicated its readiness to fully support the concept of inclusive, transparent, and internationally mediated national dialogue to address all aspects of the Ethiopian national crisis. The 4 page statement is comprehensive, chronicling the wrong deeds and actions required. Several international negotiations attempted to settle the crisis in Ethiopia failed to bear fruit. As millions are suffering because of war, famine, and other social unrest, many major actors, including the United Nations and the United States, have been deploying all their efforts to fully address the multifaceted problem in Ethiopia. Will the new approach of the West and the willingness of the internal regional actors bring new hope? We'll wait and see. And with that, we come to an end of the news for today. This has been Shimelis Marasa Gebremichael here at UMD Media. Please do not forget to like and share our program and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow our program through our other platforms to become the first to know what's going on in Ethiopia, the Horn, Africa, and the world in general. You can easily reach us via our email address, newstip2020 umd@gmail.com. Thank you for watching and have a good one.